1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Freeman Motorsports channel. Today, we've got a good one in store for you guys. We are going to be commentating to the Beef. It's What's for Dinner 300 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity season opener. I am super excited to get into this one today, guys. My pick for today, or well, more so who I want to win, is Landon Castle. My underdog is Brett Moffitt, and I think my head says Daniel Hemrick. I think he's going to start this season off just like how I finished last season. And after just getting his first win at the end of last year to clinch his first championship all in the same race, I mean, I think the sky's the limit for him now. Tuned in from the UK, what time does the action start? Right now, we're on the opening pace laps, Chipco. So the green flag's going to be coming out in just a couple minutes. If you guys are wondering, they're on the opening pace laps right now. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the the field. On the front row, you're going to have Daniel Hemrick and Austin Hill, Jade Buford and Sheldon Creed on row number 2, Brett Moffitt, Landon Castle rounding out row number 3, Josh Berry and Ryan Vargas make up row number 4, and then Brandon Jones and Riley Herbst round out the top 10. Then you got AJ Allmendinger, Drew Dollar, Brandon Brown, Noah Gregson, and Ty Gibbs, Anthony Alfredo, Justin Allgaier, Matt Mills, Ryan Sieg, and Jeffrey Earnhardt rounding out your top 20. And now, guys, starting at the very tail end of the field is Ryan Truex. So let's see if he can go from last to first at Daytona. I'm just going to keep tabs on that. Appreciate it if you drop a like if you haven't already. Okay, the lights are out on the pace car, just so you know, guys. So we're going to be going green this time off turn number 4. Daniel Hemrick has elected to take the outside line. That means Austin Hill will be on the inside line of the front row. My bet, though, is that a Chevy wins this race. But so far, the Fords have gone 4 for 4 in every race held in NASCAR so far in the 2022 era. Can the Fords continue their dominance? There's hardly any Fords in this Xfinity Series field this year. Hardly any really competitive Fords. Yeah, right now the top starting Ford is the 98 of Riley Herbst, and then Ryan Sieg in 19th, and then a couple more scattered throughout the back end of the field. But there's only 5 or 6 Fords in this entire event today. And now here they come off turn number 4. The pace car is going to make his way to pit road. And now here they come. The green flag is out for the Beef. It's What's for Dinner 300 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Daniel Hemrick gets a good launch through the initial restart. Is he going to be able to slide down and block off that inside line? Yes, he will, going down into turns number 1 and 2. He's pretty far out there by a couple car lengths. He got a great shove from Sheldon Creed in the 2 car. And now coming down the back straightaway for the first time, Daniel Hemrick still checked out by a car length or 2. That may allow the guys behind him to get a big run up on him. They're going to give him a big shove down the back straightaway. Right now, it looks like the 21 moved up to the outside line. And here comes the 48 of Jade Buford to his inside. Jade Buford trying to get up to the second spot off turn 4. Coming to the start line for the first time today, Daniel Hemrick's going to lead the first lap of the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. 120 laps tonight. And Jade Buford's moving to the inside of Daniel Hemrick through turns 1 and 2. Is he going to be able to take the lead down the back straightaway? Or is that Austin Hill? My bad. Or no, it's Buford. The ticker's all jacked up right now. So the first 2 stages will be 30 laps, and then the final stage will be 60. Down the back straightaway, the outside line, got a great shove that allowed Daniel Hemrick to clear Jade Buford on the inside line. And it looks like a part came flying off Anthony Alfredo's car. So I don't know if we're going to get a debris caution or not, but it was a pretty big chunk of something. Austin Hill's making a move to the inside of Daniel Hemrick through turns 1 and 2. Now he's going to be in the lead down the back straightaway with the help of Sheldon Creed behind him. We got the two Xfinity Series rookies barreling down the back straightaway of Daytona on the inside line, trying to take the lead from last year's series champion. And now on the outside line, you got two College cars bumper to bumper. You don't want to get all those College cars working together at the front. That's bad news for the rest of the field. AJ Allmendinger's still a bit farther back in the pack. And that time, Austin Hill leads the next lap number 3. So far, there have been 2 leaders in this race, Daniel Hemrick and Austin Hill. Now down the back straightaway, I'm expecting a big run from those College cars, and oh yeah, it's coming. It's 2 by 2 throughout most of the top 10, and then there's a couple, I think there's some 3-wide racing towards the back of the pack. Austin Hill edges out and head in turns 3 and 4. There's a big run coming from that outside line through the tri-oval, and it looks like it's going to be Austin Hill, though, at the line. Or it was too close to call. Austin Hill by an inch. Ryan Truex, who started the field in last, he's already made his way up. Where is Ryan Truex? He's already made his way up quite a few spots. He's already up into 25th. Only after 4 laps. That's how racing is at Daytona. You can make up a ton of spots in the pack and in the draft. But meanwhile, these two lines just keep going back and forth, Hemrick versus Hill. Right now, it looks like Hill's edged out in front by about a car length or 2 car lengths off turn 4. This may allow the inside line to start to prevail. 5 laps complete, but the outside line gets a great run at the stripe, and Hemrick's going to end up just leading that lap by an inch. Your lead pack still is about 20, 25 cars in this lead draft. And these guys are still battling side by side down the back straightaway. I was just seeing which line can prevail. Who's going to be able to get that upper hand? Because once it changes to single file racing, they're just going to choo-choo for a little bit, I assume, and then spice things up towards the end of the stage. Sheldon Creed moves up a bit. He's trying to side draft Daniel Hemrick, who's leading that outside line. He got pretty close to his bumper there. Thought he was about to hook him through the tri-oval. Austin Hill edges out in front just a bit more once again. But he keeps doing that through the corners, and then that outside line gets a huge run off corner exit and down the back straightaway and the front straightaway. Austin Hill tries to move up to block Daniel Hemrick, but he's too late. He tucks back down. He doesn't want to make too much of an aggressive block early on here. So now it's 2 by 2 through most of the front pack, and then towards the back of the front pack, they're dicing it up, making it 3 wide here and there. Appreciate everybody watching. Austin Hill's going to lead that one at the lap. I just remember, I feel like Anthony Alfredo drove the 21 here and there, and I keep thinking he's the one in that car. And Jade Buford is still hanging around in this top pack, as well as Brett Moffitt, 2 underdogs in this race. Now, Austin Hill's moved up to block that outside line, and that's actually given that outside line a pretty big advantage over the inside line. The top 3 or 4 cars are clear of Sheldon Creed, who is now the temporary leader of the inside line. So Anthony Alfredo, who was up in the lead draft early on, having big issues early on, the right side window flew out of the car, and he had to come down pit road because he was going to get a black flag, and he was able to. They were able to repair it, but I believe he's already lost a lap, or he's lost 3 laps. So it's going to be a long night for Anthony Alfredo. Or oh my goodness, yeah, Anthony Alfredo trying to get back onto the lead lapper in this one. And we go to our first commercial break of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season, but I'm not stopping. I'm not going on any commercial break here. Appreciate it if you drop a like, guys. But right now, so far in this one, we've had 2 leaders and 1 lead change. Daniel Hemrick led the opening 3 laps, and then Austin Hills led all 7 cents. And I'm just going to go through a running order right now. It's Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, Landon Castle, Riley Herbst, Noah Gregson, your top 5. Then Myatt Snyder, Jeremy Clements, Sheldon Creed, Drew Dollar, and Brett Moffitt rounding out your top 10. Right before we cut to commercial, it seemed like that outside line was really starting to prevail over the inside line. Austin Hill moved up to that outside line and started leading it. So I think we're going to go to some single file racing towards the front of the pack for now. But I could be totally wrong. But that outside line was definitely stronger than the inside line before we went to commercial break. And then you got Jade Buford, Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, and Ryan Sieg rounding out the top 15. Then Jeffrey Earnhardt, Adrian Allmendinger, Sam Mayer, Ty Gibbs, Brandon Brown rounding out the top 20. And then you kind of got a lead pack of about 22 cars right now. Yeah, so then Brandon Brown and Ryan Vargas are at the very tail end of that lead draft. And the guys who are kind of playing it safe early on are like, you got Jeb Burton, Joe Graff Jr., J.J. Haley, Bailey Curry, Ryan Truex, Josh Williams, Josh Bilicki, Matt Mills, Kyle Sieg, C.J. McLaughlin, Jesse Iwuji, Joey Gase, Shane Lee, Tommy Joe Martins, Cesar Bascarella round out your top 37. And then Anthony Alfredo, the only car with issues so far early on in this one. The right side window flew out of his car, and he's 3 laps down because they had to come down and put in a new one. And yeah, luckily they did have an extra right side window that they were able to slip right in there, and they only lost 3 laps. So there's nobody else who's a lap that far. So maybe they can get a lap back at the end of this stage. Maybe if we get a couple cautions here or there, maybe they can work their way slowly back onto the lead lap, because he was running up in the lead draft early on, and it looked like that car did have some pace. And I mean, it's early. Luckily, he got that issue early on, so he still has time to make up some ground. But if you guys want to put in the chat who your pick is to win, I'd appreciate it. We're still under commercial break early on in this one. Hopefully we can come back. Okay, yes. Now we're back live. So Austin Hill still leading, and he's leading the 2 college cars of Daniel Hemrick and Landon Castle. And then in 4th place, you got Riley Herbst. And, just now, it looks like both the college cars moved to the inside of Austin Hill, and we're able to shuffle him from the lead, and he's dropping to the back. So now it's Daniel Hemrick out front. After leading the first 3 laps, he's back out front once again. He's got his college teammate Landon Castle giving him help from behind. And then after them, they're side by side for third, Noah Gregson, and it looks like Riley Herbst is now leading that inside line. Now Austin Hill's the second car in line on that inside line. But Noah Gregson has worked his way up into the lead draft. He's up in the 4th, like I just mentioned. Most of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. machines are up. Crash early on. That's the 18 of Drew Dollar, and he's taking somebody with him. Is that Jeremy Clements? I think so. On lap 13. Oh, those cars are killed. Is that? Yeah, that's Clements. Wrong place, wrong time. The 18 just got hooked and right into the outside wall, and Clements was the first car there to blast into him. The 51's killed. The 18 pounded the outside wall, but it actually looks like that car may be repairable. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, 18 had Drew Dollar in there, yeah. Very similar to very similar accident to his accident in the ARCA series, I believe. And Sam Mayer looks like also got some damage or something. I don't see any damage, but he's slow on the apron. We're gonna look at a replay here. Who's involved? It looks like Jade Buford was pushing Drew Dollar down the back straightaway. Dollar was running up in 7th place. Oh, guys kind of check up in front of him. He just gets loose, and the 51's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Does anybody get into him? It doesn't look like either of them really get into each other, or well, nobody else gets into the two of them. But maybe Mayer got some damage when everybody else was kind of braking to avoid him. So basically what happened is Riley Herbst had to check up, and then Austin Hill checked up, and Drew Dollar was the next car in line, and he kind of checked up, and Sam Mayer went around as he tried to avoid them. I didn't even notice that. So it looks like he just spun it, but I believe he kept it down at the wall. But anyways, those two cars checked up. Drew Dollar tried to avoid, and he basically just spun it around. He almost saved it. He went back and forth a couple times, and they finally hooked it into the outside wall, and Clements was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But so yeah, it looks like Mayer was at the tail end of this lead draft, and he just spun in avoidance, but he didn't make any contact with the wall, or if he did, it was slight contact. Now, at first, I thought that 18 was killed, but he actually may be able to repair it now that I look at it. Probably won't be too competitive of a machine, but this is going to give, I believe, Anthony Alfredo the free pass. And so that'll allow him to get one of his laps back after that incident between those two cars. Or, actually, he is not going to be able to get his lap back, but the 07 of Joe Graff Jr. will. I don't know why he lost a lap, but he must have had to make an unscheduled pit stop as well as Anthony Alfredo. But that caution comes at like the halfway point in stage 1. Will we see anybody come down pit road? I don't expect anybody in the lead draft to come down pit road. Maybe some guys towards the back of the pack make some quick adjustments, maybe something like that. But right now, at the time of caution, your leader was Daniel Hemrick, then Landon Castle in second. Noah Gregson, Riley Herbst, Myatt Snyder ran out the top 5. Then Austin Hill, Jade Buford, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, and Sheldon Creed, your top 10. Then Ryan Sieg, Kyle Weatherman, Ty Gibbs, J.J. Yaley, Justin Allgaier, your top 15. Michael, New Jersey Diecast, your pick to win is Gregson or Allgaier. Those are both pretty solid picks, both out of the Junior Motorsports stable. I'm really keeping tabs on where AJ Allmendinger is in the field. He qualified mid-pack, and he definitely is probably going to try and work his way up towards the front so that way he can be with his two teammates, because I'm really trying to keep tabs of where he is, because once you get all three of those call-out cars at the front, I think it's going to be very, very hard to get around them. But if it's only the two of them, Hemrick and Castle, it's a little bit easier to, negotiate around them. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, just so you know, I will not be live streaming the race tomorrow, the Daytona 500, but I will be posting a reaction video afterwards. But yeah, so we've already had one caution early on in this one for incident, taking out two, I'd say, pretty competitive cars. You got Drew Dollar and Jeremy Clements, who are both out of this race. They may be able to repair the 18 of Drew Dollar, but I really am not too sure. It's going to be close. But yeah, so far it looks like also Cesar Boss. I'm going to probably mispronounce this, but Cesar Baccarella also must have had some sort of issue. He's been pulled off. He's 5 laps down. And it looks like Jeremy Clements is out of this race just by judging the fact that it says he's 3 laps down on the ticker. Anthony Alfredo, 2 laps down now. And Drew Dollar, it says 2 laps down. So they may be able to repair that 18 machine. I don't know if he'll really be able to be competitive anymore. He did take a pretty big lick to the outside wall, but the 51 kind of lessened that hit. Steve Kavak, awesome job. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, just to break down that incident one more time for you. So basically, Riley Herbst checks up, then Austin Hill checks up. Drew Dollar's the next car in line. He checks up, but he kind of bobbles a little bit, a couple feet up the track. Then he kind of hooks back down, weaves it back and forth a handful of times, and it ends up with him just losing it into the outside wall down the back straightaway. And he just takes out the innocent bystander of Jeremy Clements. And Clements honestly got the brunt of the majority of the damage. But basically, both those cars are pretty killed. Sam Mayer also ended up spinning in avoidance, but he didn't get any more damage than just flat spotting his tires. Oh, it looks like we've got the 24 car of Jeffrey Earnhardt on pit road. They've got the rear end of that, the left rear of that thing jacked up and the tire off, so he may be having some sort of mechanical issue. And it does look like they're going to be able to repair that 18 or at least get him back out there. That thing is killed on the right side. So we'll have to see. If that thing won, that would make an insane race version. But man, Daytona is going to be very different tomorrow. I do not think it's going to be like the past couple of Daytona 500s. I think it's going to be it's going to be similar to the duels, but obviously be a lot more intense and have more action in it. But I do think we are going to see quite a few long green flag runs, not too many big accidents. I think a lot of it's going to come down to green flag pit stops, who gets on and off pit road fastest. Because it really seems like even if you have more cars in your draft, that you really aren't going to gain a lot as long as the other pack of cars is at least a handful of cars with together. But also the Fords are fast. Like when it comes down just to sheer pace, I really think the Fords are the fastest in the draft, or at least in the Choo-Choo. So right now there are quite a few cars with some sort of mechanical issue or just some sort of issue that they're going to have to that they've had to pull off for, and one of those being the 45 of Cesar Baccarella. He's 6 laps down, so he may already be out on this one. Jeremy Clements just wrecked out. Drew Dollar is 3 laps down, but he's back out on track. Jeffrey Earnhardt had some sort of issue, and he's 2 laps down. Anthony Alfredo also had an issue early on in this one. He lost 2 laps when they were repairing that. But we'll be going green again with about 11 or 12 laps to go in stage number 1. Honestly, for me, it's so much easier to commentate these Xfinity Series races because they're just like 2/3 the distance. They're 2/3 the distance of the Cup Series races, and it's just so much easier for my throat. Appreciate everybody watching. But we should be going green here in a second. Only one car out of this race so far. But I think this race is going to be a race of underdogs. I mean, you've got so many underdogs already near the front already. You got Myatt Snyder in P4. You got the rookie of Austin Hill in P5, Jade Buford in P6. Sheldon Creed, another rookie in P9. I guess Austin Hill and Creed aren't really underdogs, but I'm kind of calling them underdogs because they're rookies. Ryan Sieg in P10, Kyle Weatherman in P12. But yeah, some notable names towards the back of the pack if you guys are just wondering where they are. If you're wondering where your driver's running, just ask me in the chat and I'll try to give you a quick update. Yeah, Noah Gregson. He must have had to make some slight repair or something on pit road because he's all the way back in 30th. He was running up in the lead draft earlier before the caution. Tommy Joe Martin's in P23. Ryan Truex up to P22 after starting last. Josh Bilicki in P21. Brandon Brown in P20. I hope he gets a solid result because he really needs that purse money with after losing his sponsorship. Then you got Jesse Iwuji up in P19. And then Allmendinger, the third Colleague cars back in P17. So if he can work his way up to be with his other 2 teammates who are right now 1-2, that trio of Colleague cars is going to be dangerous at the front of the pack, almost unbeatable. And they'll probably get another super speedway W if they can get Allmendinger up front with the other 2 Colleague cars. Appreciate everybody watching this afternoon. I appreciate everybody who's been tuning into all these live streams so far this 2022 season. It's been quite the record year so far. So far, in just the handful of race live streams we've done, we've gotten nearly, I believe, around like 500, 600 likes total, and nearly 20,000 views. So I really appreciate everybody who's been involved, tuning into those, interacting with the channel, being involved in the chat. But the green flag is out. Once again, you got Hemrick on the outside, Castle on the inside. I assume Hemrick's going to try and slide down that inside line and hook up with his colleague teammate down into turns 1 and 2. And yes, he will do that. Now, Myatt Snyder leads that outside line with help from Jade Buford. As they go through turns 1 and 2, the two collar cars edging out in front after a nice shove from Riley Herbst, that third car on the inside line. And they're trying to make it 3 wide. And it looks like Jade Buford's going to be stuck in the sucker hole, and he's going backwards. Josh Berry was the one who made that move that sent Jade Buford backwards. He's going to be able to slip in line. It looks like around that. Myatt Snyder also got dropped by Josh Berry. So Myatt Snyder and Jade Buford get knocked down to the front pack here early on. Josh Berry making big moves early on this restart, trying to make his way towards the front of the field. He wants to mix it up with those colic machines up front. After one lap, your top fives: Hemrick, Castle, Berry, Herbst, and Ryan Sieg. The top two are still single file, and then they're side by side behind them for third, Berry and Herbst. And then they're 3 wide after that for a couple rows, and they're just trying to fight for position down the back straightaway. Brandon Jones is bobbing and weaving between lines. Josh Berry making a move to the inside line. He's trying to get to the inside of Landon Castle, and he'll be able to pull that off. Also, Ryan Sieg gets stuck in the sucker hole. He's going backwards. And now Ty Gibbs to the bumper of Landon Castle and Riley Herbst to the bumper of Josh Berry. You got monster machines side by side for 4th place. So your first 3 rows are single file or double file, and then they're 3 wide behind that for a couple rows. But Daniel Hemrick's out front by a couple car lanes here. That's going to allow Josh Berry to get a big run up on him. Landon Castle now is leading that outside line up along the wall. These guys are racing hard here early on. And Daniel Hemrick moves down to block that inside line led by Josh Berry. Now he tries to slide back up. AJ Allmendinger's been able to make up quite a few spots on this restart. He's up towards the front of this lead draft, or the front half. Hemrick's now leading over Riley Herbst, who's the second car in that outside line. So Castle's been knocked away from his teammate of Daniel Hemrick, so Hemrick doesn't have any teammate support right now at the front of the field, and that's going to allow Josh Berry to make a move to the inside into turns 1 and 2. Oh, but Landon Castle makes a 3-wide move to the inside of Riley Herbst. Now, that's a power move from that 10 machine, but he may get stuck in the sucker hole. He almost was able to pull it off, just not quite. He's going to have help a couple rows back, though. So now we're going to be 3 by 3 by 3 after the top 2 are just about single file. Daniel Hemrick doing a great job of managing lanes right here, making pretty clean blocks here so far. Now you got Hemrick leading over Josh Berry, who's leading that inside line. And Josh Berry's going to be right to the bumper of Hemrick down the front straightaway. Josh Berry's going to move up to the outside line. So will Hemrick. Now Herbst on the bumper of Berry. He's going to give him a big shove down to turns 1 and 2. Will Berry try and do anything with it? And it looks like for now, is he going to make a move to the inside? He thought about it. He's going to move down to the inside line, but so does Hemrick, so Hemrick kind of blocks that move. Your top 3 are all single file now, and then they're side by side behind them. Josh Berry's trying to get around Daniel Hemrick, but Hemrick keeps blocking him. As soon as Hemrick sees that 8-car move, he just slides down in front of him. Austin Hill moves up to block Herbst, and he gives him a shove, but Landon Castle's got a big run to their inside, but he doesn't have any help behind him. Now Austin Hill makes a move to the inside of Josh Berry through the tri-oval. He's going to try and get by Berry. Now Hemrick goes down to block Hill, and great move by Hill to get in front of Josh Berry. Josh Berry gets into the bumper of Hill. He gets him a bit loose. Well, that was a tight and close move by Hill, but it was clean. Now Barry's kind of stuck on the inside line, the odd man out. And Riley Herbst is to his outside, but now behind him, he's got Landon Castle, who's going to be a good pusher. But Hemrick still leads. He's been doing a great job of maintaining the lead after multiple attempts to get the lead taken away from him by guys in this lead draft. Oh, and Drew Dollar has not been able to meet minimum speed, so he's also now out of this race. 5 to go in stage 1 this time by. And Daniel Hemrick's going to lead this one at the stripe once again over Austin Hill and Riley Herbst. We're coming through turns 1 and 2. Austin Hill moves in low, and then he moves back up. He's trying to see if he can get by Hemrick, but he's just not able to. The thing is right now they want to peel on a line, but they got no help on the inside line who'd be like willing to push him. So if they aren't able to pull off the move, they're going to be going backwards. And Allmendinger pulls out of line. He's going to try and move up ahead of Ty Gibbs. Oh, but he can't quite squeeze in between Herbst and Gibbs. So he's not going to be able to pull it off, but Gibbs goes low with him. So now he's going to have help on the inside line. Is Hill going to be able to block Allmendinger? No, he's not going to be. So now you're going to have two College cars, 1-2 at the front of the field again, except this time it's not Hemrick and Allmendinger. It's not Hemrick and Castle. It's Hemrick and Allmendinger. So Allmendinger is able to methodically make his way up to second place. Oh, now he kind of goes low. And he almost goes to the inside of his teammate. Is he going to make a move on his teammate here? No, he's not. He's just going to give him a nice push off turn 2. Now your top 5, Hemrick, Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Ty Gibbs, and Riley Herbst. Ooh, boy, guys, this is getting interesting. It's getting intense here at the end of stage 1. Through turns 3 and 4, the top 3 are all single file, and then they're side by side behind them. Guys trying to make up a couple spots here before the end of the stage so they can get a couple more stage points. Ty Gibbs is left the odd man out, and he has to tuck up in line. No, he's not able to. He's going backwards. He's going to lose a lot of spots there. Your top 10 or so are now all of a sudden single file. They all just kind of chilled out there through the turns 3 and 4. Now, essentially, this lead draft of about 15 to 20 cars is all single file. And now is Riley Herbst looking to make a move with Austin Hill? No, he's not. So they're single file, but you know these guys are going to make a move before the end of this stage. Also, shout out to Brandon Brown right now running up in P6. The last winner in the Xfinity Series on a plate track. They're not even plate tracks anymore, but that's what we call them. Oh, but it looks like Myatt Snyder is going to try and make a move to his inside, but there's nobody to help him. He's going to be going backwards here. They're 2 to go now, this time at the stripe. 2 to go in stage 1. Hemrick, Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Herbst, Allgaier, your top 5. They're all single file. Then behind them, you got Brandon Brown, Gregson, Gibbs, Ryan Sieg, and who is that? Sam Mayer round out the top 10. Anthony Alfredo pokes on a line, but remember, he's 2 laps down, so he's not eligible for points. So is Jeffrey Earnhardt, who's also up in this lead draft. They're both 2 laps down because they had early mechanical issues. We'll be coming to the white flag in stage 1 this time by. This time at the stripe, it's Hemrick, Allmendinger, Hill, Herbst, Allgaier, top 5 still. Somebody's probably going to try and make a move down the back straightaway or in turns 3 and 4, but it's going to be hard to get by the 2 College cars up front. But a run's going to be able to be generated somewhere. Justin Allgaier peaks low on Riley Herbst, but nobody goes with him. Oh, Austin Hill goes with him, who's in front of him. He's going to try and make a move to the inside of Allmendinger. He's going to get to the corner panel, but they've got no help. Oh, here comes Brandon Brown with them, too. You got 3 cars on the inside line. Oh, I don't know if they're going to get a big enough run. They're trying, though. Allmendinger on the bumper of Hill. They're coming up. They're past Allmendinger. Now Hemrick blocks Hill off turn 4. Is Hill going to be able to get by Hemrick? Coming to the stripe of the first stage of the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. It looks like Hemrick's got a big run. He's going to be able to stay clear of them. Oh, and they bobble out there a little bit. And it's going to be at the stripe. Allmendinger goes low, but Hemrick's going to hold him off. And it's Hemrick, Allmendinger, Herbst, Gregson, Hill, Gibbs, Allgaier, Ryan Sieg, Brandon Brown, and Sam Mayer picks up the last point of stage 1. John Vandetter, the motorsports fan, 2022. Does Alfredo get the free pass? I believe this time him and Jeffrey Earnhardt were pretty close. I'm not sure which one of them got it. I think it may have been Earnhardt ever so slightly. We're looking here. And it does look like Jeffrey Earnhardt was able to edge out Anthony Alfredo at the stripe. So Jeffrey Earnhardt goes from 2 laps down to 1 lap down, and the Anthony Alfredo stays 2 laps down. But that's the end of stage 1, guys. Now, the results were changing up there just a bit, so I'm going to try and get the actual points for you to see who actually got what. Oh, that doesn't help me. I'm looking. Yeah, I wasn't quite tell. I think what I listed off was the correct order. Maybe 1 or 2 guys were swapped back and forth, but your stage 1 winner was Daniel Hemrick, starting 2022 like how he finished 2021. So that's bad news for the competition. But Colleague, once again, seeming to be dominant in the super speedways in the Xfinity series. Appreciate everybody watching. Drop a like if you haven't already. That's the end of stage 1. Now we're going to have pit stops here. Who's going to come, who's not. We're going to see if anybody can make up a couple spots, lose a couple spots. But right now, underdogs towards the front. You got Austin Hill. You got Sheldon Creed, 2 rookies. Then you got Brandon Brown in P8. Ryan Sieg in P9. Mike Snyder was also up in that lead draft quite a bit. Jade Buford's been up near the front quite a bit. But so far, there's only one incident in this one, and it involved Drew Dollar and Jeremy Clements. There was a checkup on the inside line, and Drew Dollar got the short end of the stick. He hooked it into the outside wall and took out Jeremy Clements. Both of them are out of this race. Also, there's a third DNF so far, Cesar Bach-Arella. It's unknown why he pulled off. He may be able to come back on, but had some sort of mechanical issue, so he's off the track. That makes 3 cars out of this race. There are 2 cars who are laps down, Jeffrey Earnhardt and Anthony Alfredo. It wasn't diagnosed what Earnhardt's issue was, but on pit road for that caution involving Clements and Dollar, they had the rear end of that car up off the ground, and had some people under there trying to fix something. Anthony Alfredo also early on in this one, his right side window flew off the car, and they had to come down pit road under green and repair that, put in a new right side window. Jeffrey Earnhardt did just get the free pass under this last caution, so now he's only 1 lap down. And luckily, both those guys had issues early on in this race, so they may be able to work their way back onto the lead lap slowly and methodically, but they should be able to before this thing's over. Hey, we got to 10 likes. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate everybody who's been tuning in today and so far this 2022 season. If you guys want to put in the chat who your pick is to win or how many cautions you think there will be today, are we going to see a big one in the Xfinity series? We didn't see we didn't really see a big one in the truck series. I mean, we kind of did. It wasn't a huge one. We did not see a big one in the ARCA race today. So we'll have to see. I personally don't think we're going to see a big one in the Cup series tomorrow. We're going to see a couple cautions, but I don't think we're going to see any more cautions involve more than like 5 to 8 cars. Just because people really are going to try and play it safe for the next gen. Spuddy, are you using Google? I mean, yes, I don't really know what that incorporates, but yes, I guess. Okay, so they're going to be coming to, I believe they can pull off to pit road this time. Is anybody going to try and stay out and gain track position? I know track position doesn't matter too much at super speedways because, you can so many spots in the draft relatively quickly, but now here comes It looks like everybody's coming down pit road here. Anybody going to stay out? And is anybody going to make a mistake on pit road? We've already seen a couple incidents on pit road already this weekend. Don't see anybody. I don't think anybody's really taken 4 tires so far. Riley Herbst, looks like, only took 2. Well, it looks like, I may be wrong, but I don't think Daniel Hemrick's car was totally in his box, but I'm not sure about that. Brandon Brown pulls strategy. He takes no tires. He's the first car off pit road. Herbst, Gregson, Mayer, and Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, and Jeb Burton, and Ty Gibbs only take 2 tires. And then they're all the next cars off the field. And Daniel Hemrick, who was your race leader coming down to pit road, took 4, and he dropped all the way back to 9th. There, boom. I got rid of that there. Yeah, that was actually decent idea. I may do that for the next live stream. Thank you for that idea. So I do kind of like how the stages are a lot shorter in the Xfinity series at the plate tracks, because it really doesn't allow there's not really a time where the field can really mellow out, like there is in the Cup Series at the plate races, because those stages are closer to like 60 laps. So you see green flag pit stops, and you'll often see like the Choo-Choo train for maybe 30, 40 laps. But in the Xfinity series, since there's only 25, 30 lap stages, people are usually on the gas the entire time. Like essentially the entire first stage was double file, triple 3 wide. And there was a brief period of the Choo-Choo in the last 10 laps, but it was more so everybody was trying to stay calm and then build up a huge run for the last charge for the lead in stage 1. And it does look like there are a handful of cars who are going to try and. Oh, there were a handful of cars who stayed out. But most of them are coming to pit road this time. They just didn't want to be on pit road when it was super busy. But it does look like Anthony Alfredo is going to be taking the wave around, and that'll get him 1 lap back. And it looks like Jeffrey Earnhardt may be pulling a similar strategy. Appreciate everybody watching. We're at 12 likes right now, guys. We've got 40 people watching. I'd appreciate if we could hit 20 likes, 25 likes. Spuddy, they just personally annoy me. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's obviously it's a bigger issue to you guys because that's what you're seeing on the screen. But to me, I'm just trying to commentate. That's not really what I'm looking at. So I understand if it's more of an issue to you than to me. But so far, there's just been 3 leaders. 2 of them were really under green. Joe Graff Jr. just under this kind of green flag or caution, under caution just now when they're cycling through pit stops. Just Joe Graff Jr.'s let a lap in this one. But like I said, still only 3 cars out of this race, 1 for mechanical, 2 for incident. Drew Dominance were caught up in a 2-car crash into the outside wall down the back straightaway. And then Jeffrey Earnhardt and Anthony Alfredo had mechanical issues as well, but they were able to repair those. They did lose a couple laps, but Jeffrey Earnhardt's now only 1 lap down, and Anthony Alfredo is 2 laps down, so they should be able to maybe work their way back onto the lead lap before this thing's over. But I'm waiting for this leaderboard to update. When we come to green, it should be Brandon Brown out front. He's definitely going to be trying to get a dub here at Daytona, considering that if that can lock them into the playoffs, man, that'll be huge for that team, considering the fact that they're probably going to be struggling for funding this entire season. And if they can at least get that playoff spot locked, it'll definitely give them inspiration to be showing up every race weekend. Appreciate it. We're up to 16 likes. Appreciate everybody tuning in, or we'll drop a like. And also, guys, if you subscribe for the first time, I'd appreciate it if you let me know in the chat, so that way I can give you a little bit of credit, a little bit of a shout out, because I appreciate it when you try to support the channel. Also, shout out to you guys who are engaging in the chat. I love keeping up some sort of conversation with you guys, especially during the commercial breaks and caution periods. If you guys want to talk about who your picks are for tomorrow, I can let you know who mine are. Well, I'm a Kyle Larson fan, so first off, Kyle Larson would be like who I'd want to see win. But I think my guts tell me it's definitely going to be a Ford, and I would love to see it be RFK cars. But the more and more I think about it, I think it's going to be a car coming out of the Penske stable that includes the Wood Brothers car. And it does look like Joe Graff Jr. did just stay out under that caution. I thought he was going to come down to pit road the next time. He tried this at Martinsville last year, and it did not work out for anybody, including himself. He took out quite a few cars in a crash, but maybe that won't happen this time. It's going to be Joe Graff on the inside, Brandon Brown on the outside, coming through the green, coming to the restart zone. And then making up row 2, you have guys who took 2 tires, Herbst and Gregson, and then behind them, more guys who took 2 tires, Mayer and Austin Hill. The first car who took 4 tires is Daniel Hemrick, and he's starting in 9th place. The 5th car on the inside line. And the pace car is going to pull off, and through the Geico restarts that they go for the 3rd time today. Which line's going to get the better start? Neither car in the front row took tires under the last caution break. Noah Gregson's giving a good push to Brandon Brown. Herbst's giving a good push to Joe Graff. And it looks like Brown's going to edge ahead for now, but Herbst is locked onto the bumper of Graff, so he's going to probably give him the lead down the back straightaway. Now, which line's going to formulate quicker down the back straightaway? Is anybody going to take it 3 wide? It looks like Herbst is going to the outside of Graff, and he's going to try and get by him. And Graff's getting shuffled back here quickly. Jeb Burton goes with Herbst as well, and they're able to get by Joe Graff. But Burton now gets stuck in the middle, so that does not work out for him. Brandon Brown's leading ahead of Noah Gregson on the outside line, and then they're side by side for 3rd, Austin Hill and Riley Herbst. At the line, Brandon Brown's going to lead a lap today. Let's go, Brandon. And I'm talking about Brandon Brown. Meanwhile, your top 5 after 1 lap are Brown, Gregson, Austin Hill, Ty Gibbs, and Ryan Sieg. Your top 10 or so are now single file. That outside line really got organized quick. I wonder if they're going to try and sort out Brandon Brown here or not. I wonder if Gregson's just going to stay content running in second for a little bit here. Yeah, right now this lead pack got organized really quick into a Choo-Choo train. Towards the back of this pack, these guys are still side by side, but they're all trying to work their way into the outside line. And Brandon Brown's going to lead another one at Daytona. There's kind of a break in between the lead pack. There's about 12 cars or so in this lead draft, and then there's a second pack that's fallen a couple car lengths behind. But they're all single file, so they should be able to catch up to this lead pack of 12 cars or so here pretty soon. Brandon Brown still leads, so it looks like Noah Gregson's going to be content to stay in that outside line behind Brown for just a bit now. Already almost 10 laps complete in stage 2. That means it'll be 20 to go here next time by in stage 2. And it does look like that second pack that was single file is now kind of caught up to that first pack. Mark Witkowski, let's go, Brandon. Trey Rich Larson is the best driver on 4 wheels, no matter what series, dirt or asphalt, for that matter. I agree with that. John Buckley, where's the live video? Well, you got me commentating. And Mark Witkowski, my picks, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse, Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, all those are solid picks. And almost all of those are Fords. Actually, no, they're not. Only 2 of them are Fords. 2 are Chevys, and 1 is a Toyota. But Brown's going to lead another one here at Daytona. In your top 10 or so are still managing to stay single file, but a couple guys are ducking out of line trying to pick up a spot here or there. Herbst moves down a line. He's trying to get by Jade Buford, but it looks like he may be stuck on a line here. Or will there be a gap ahead of Jade Buford in between him and Josh Berry? We're going to see if he's going to be able to slip in it down the back straightaway, or is he going to be hung out to dry? He's trying, and he's not able to, so he's going to lose quite a few spots here. Herbst going backwards. Yeah, Herbst is going to be going backwards here in a hurry. So he's probably going to have to fall to the tail end of this Choo-Choo train that's got about 25 cars in it. It looks like Sam Mayer also tried to do something similar to Herbst, and he's also fallen to the rear end of these cars in a Choo-Choo train. Creed poked down a line there for a second, but he took back in line right away. But right now, the college cars are separated from each other, and that gives the whole field some time to breathe. Because when those college cars are all right together, they're a force to be reckoned with. And right now, they're just in a Choo-Choo train, ticking off laps. Appreciate it, guys. Up to 17 likes. Can we hit 25? I'd appreciate it. And this time at the stripe, Brandon Brown's going to lead his, how many laps so far? He's going to lead his 6th lap so far. Yeah, this is a long Choo-Choo train. It's got almost the entire field in it right now. Basically, almost, it looks like almost 30, basically about 30, 33 cars are in this Choo-Choo train. So nearly the entire field. So we're going to see these guys probably spice things up again before this stage is over. But are we going to see another caution for incident fly in this one? Oh, Daniel Hemrick made a move to the inside of Myatt Snyder in turns 3 and 4, and he was able to complete that pass. So that moves Hemrick to 10th, Snyder back to 11th. Creed trying to make a move on Buford, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that one off. It's going to be tough, but he may be able to slide in a gap a couple cars back. We'll have to see. And we cut to commercial break, of course. I'll catch up on the chat really quick, see if anybody else said anything. You're pulling for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. You're not the only one in this chat who is. I believe who else was pulling for Allgaier? Looks like, yeah, John Vandetter is also pulling for Allgaier. Or am I wrong? Somebody said Allgaier in here. Yeah, Michael, New Jersey's diecast said Allgaier, so. Appreciate over 40 of you guys watching right now. Still under a brief commercial break. Brandon Brown's led a couple laps here, 8 laps in a row. So far, your lap leader, though, is Daniel, or the opponent who's led the most laps is Daniel Hemrick. He's led 26 laps on the day. Austin Hill was out front for a little bit in stage 1. He was out front for 8 laps, and Joe Graff Jr. was out front for a couple laps under caution. So far, only one caution for incident, and that involved Drew Dollar and Jeremy Clements. And then 2 cars have had mechanical issues, Anthony Alfredo and Jeffrey Earnhardt, but they were able to repair those cars. They did lose a couple laps, but now they're only 1 lap each. There are 3 cars out in this race. Cesar Boscarella pulled off early on with some sort of mechanical issue. But right now, everybody's in a Choo-Choo train, or at least they were before we went to commercial break. A Choo-Choo train consisting of basically the entire field. Like, literally the entire field, basically. So if you pull down a line and weren't able to sneak back up in line, you are going backwards. And I mean backwards. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully this commercial ends quickly. I'll tell you one thing, when I'm live commentating, the commercials feel like they last 10 times longer than when you're watching it on your own. But when we come back from commercial, there will be about 13 laps in stage number 2, 13 laps left. So things will probably start to get a bit more spicy. Right now, you got 3 Chevys up front. Then you got the Toyota of Ty Gibbs, the Ford of Ryan Sieg rounding out the top 5. And then you got 5 4 more Chevys rounding out the top 9, or actually 5 Chevys rounding out the top 10 now. Now, I would love to see Brandon Brown get another win today, not for any political reason, but more so just because it's honestly just such a sad story for him that he kind of got the short end stick with the whole situation at Talladega, even though he's able to get his first win, and then it basically costing him any sponsorship he had. So now we are back live with 13 to go. And now we've got 2 lines formed. Brandon leading the inside line, and behind him you've got Gregson, Hill, and Allgaier. And now there's an outside line that's a couple rows back, and it's being led by, I believe, Riley Herbst. Or maybe that's Ty Gibbs. It's one of the monster cars. Now there's 2 monster cars, and I can't tell you who's who. It's anyone's race. If you can make it 299 miles and be in the top 5, your chances are good for a win. That is definitely true, man. And it looks like Ryan Sieg's making a move to the outside of Austin Hill. He's just trying to lead that outside line. So now it's Brown, Gregson, Sieg, Hill, Hemrick, your top 5 at the line with 12 to go in stage number 2. But you've got guys side by side and 3 by 3, a couple rows deep in the midfield. So they were chilling for about 5 or so laps there. Now everybody's getting a bit more aggressive. Oh, Gregson's made a move on Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown's been shuffled from. They have help from Daniel Hemrick. No, Daniel Hemrick's going to move to his inside. So now Brown's going backwards. He's going to have help a couple rows back, but that is not good for him. Now, luckily, there's still 10 laps to go on this stage, or 12 laps to go on the stage, so he has time to make up some spots. But he's right in the heart of the lion's den, so it's a dangerous place to be, no matter who you are. But right now, it's Gregson and Sieg at the front of the pack, and then behind them, they're side by side for third, Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick. And Daniel Hemrick's got Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger on his bumper, so he's got a teammate with him, so they may be able to pull out and make a move on this front duo. And they've also got Landon Castle right behind them, but he's on the inside line. Now that outside line's starting to prevail again, and that inside line's really dying out, fading out pretty quick. Is anybody else going to move down near the front of the pack to try and give that inside line some extra life? The top 4 are now kind of clear of that inside line. Top 5. Now 10 to go in stage 2, 2/3 of the way through stage 2. Oh, Hemrick makes a move to the inside of Sieg. Allmendinger's going to try and follow suit, as well as Ty Gibbs, and they're all going to make it work. Austin Hill's also following through. Now let's move to the inside line, and the outside line's kind of the guys who are the odd man out. Hemrick moves, Allmendinger moves low to block that inside line. Hemrick moves down with him as well as Gregson. Now Brandon Brown goes to the outside of Ryan Sieg. He puts Sieg in the sucker hole. Sieg may be able to pull up in line just behind Brandon Brown. Yes, he will. He got lucky there. Now coming off turn 4, it's Gregson, Hemrick, Allmendinger leading that outside line. Then you got Ty Gibbs leading that inside line. We are going to commercial break. Are you serious? Are you serious, NASCAR? Oh, side by side at least. I was like, if you're cutting to 2 commercial breaks within 5 laps of each other, are you serious? At least it's side by side. Anyways, they're still battling towards the front. That outside line still is led by Gregson, Hemrick, Allmendinger, and then Brown and Sieg. And then Ty Gibbs is trying to fight that outside line on that inside line, but he's got no help. He's got Sieg and Allgaier behind him, but really only about, looks like 6 or so cars on that inside line, and that outside line is basically the rest of the field in it. Appreciate everybody watching. We're up to 20 likes, 55 people watching. Can we get to 30 or 35? Gibbs is kind of slowly towards the front, but he's going to need a bit more help than what he's got now to get to the lead, I think. 8 to go in stage 2 still. They're still barreling down the back straightaway at Daytona. If there was a crash now, it would definitely take out quite a few cars. But Gregson still leads. Noah's like, I got into Daytona tomorrow, so I'm honestly, he's probably just thinking, I just want to win Daytona tomorrow. If I win Daytona today, that's a nice little bonus. I think Gregson is going to try and put on a show tomorrow if he can. Up to 2022, up to 2022, up to 22 likes. Appreciate it. Gibbs has made up a bit of ground. Now he's up to about the quarter panel of Allmendinger, the third car in line on the outside. But still not quite enough help on that inside. Only 5 cars now are in that inside line. But Jeb Burton moves down to give them some more strength in numbers. Gibbs' car is definitely strong. I mean, he's basically leading that inside line that is very outnumbered by the outside line, and he's making up. Now he's side by side with Allmendinger, so he may be able to get to the quarter panel of Hemrick before they get to turn 1 here with 6 to go in stage 2. And now Gibbs is side by side with Hemrick. He may be able to get to the corner panel of Gregson down the back straightaway. Yeah, he will. So he's going to try and side draft a bit. That outside line's got a big run down the back straightaway. Oh, Austin Hill. Was that Austin Hill trying to make a move to the inside of Gibbs? No, he did not. Oh, Allgaier goes to the outside of Austin Hill. That's going to kind of hurt the strength of that inside line there. I don't think that was a good move there. That really kind of killed off all the momentum that inside line had. They're going to have to try and regroup now with 5 to go in stage 1. Now the top 5 or so are all single file on the top side. But Gregson's still leading that outside line, but behind him, he's got 2 Kaulig cars paired up together. And so he's got to know in the back of his mind before this end of the stage, those 2 Kaulig cars are going to make a move on him. That inside line really did just die out there. And so basically there's only 3 or so cars in that inside line, and they're just going backwards. So all that work Ty Gibbs was doing, it showed that he has a strong car, but that line kind of bailed down on him. And so now he may be able to do it with 5 cars, but he can't pull it off with just 1. So they're going to try and tuck in line towards the back of this lead draft. So who's going to make a move with 4 to go in stage 1? Yeah, now we got some weird bots in the chat. And we got Gregson, Hemrick, Allgaier, Brown, Sieg, your top 5. Gregson, Hemrick, Allmendinger, Brown, Sieg, Buford, Barry, Jones, Herbst, Mayer, the top 10. You got a lot of aggressive drivers up there. They're going to be looking to make a move before this thing's over. 3 to go at Daytona in stage 2. Now, you want to get the points, but you don't want to wreck out when you're only halfway through the race. So how hard are they going to push it? I think these guys are going to wait till the last lap, so that way whoever they pass doesn't have time to regroup and make another run at them before the stage ends. Also, right now, Alfredo's in the free pass spot, but him and Jeffrey Earnhardt are in a fierce battle for that free pass spot because the winner of it is going to get back on the lead lap to start the final stage. And they are 2 by 2, a little bit deeper in the pack towards that tail end of the top 10. And they're starting to duke it out back there with 2 to go now. The top 8 or so are still playing it safe and content. Oh boy. Oh boy. Still 33 cars on the lead lap. At 2 to go in stage 2. Who is going to make the move and when? Mayer makes move to the inside of Herbst. He's got Allgaier and Gibbs with him. Now that's a bit farther back in the pack. That's for about 8th place or so. But is anybody going to go with them? Sieg goes down low. He leaves Brandon Brown on the outside line. Who's going to go with him? They're coming to the white flag in stage number 2. Who is it time for the colored cars to go? Or are they going to wait till the back straightaway? Hemrick peaked low, but he tucked back up in line. Is Gregson going to be able to block the colored cars? Because they're going to have a big run when they do come. Now they're side. Oh, Hemrick goes low and turns 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. He nearly hooked Gregson, but Gregson made the greatest save I've ever seen. But now Allmendinger goes to the inside of Gregson, and Gregson's getting shuffled out. Oh my gosh, if I'm Gregson, I'm just happy I saved it, even though I just lost the lead. Now Sieg's giving a mighty push to Hemrick, and Hemrick goes out to the lead. Now it's Hemrick, Gregson. Oh, Tyon Brown. Is that going to hook Brown? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is sketchy. This is sketchy in the mid pack. Is he going to make a move on Hemrick before they get to the stripe? And it looks like Hemrick is going to go 2 for 2 in the stages at Daytona. And it is going to be Hemrick, Sieg, Mayer, Allmendinger, Allgaier, Brown, Gibbs, Barry, Herbst, and Brandon Jones, your top 10. That was the craziest save I've ever seen on a super speedway plate race. I mean, oh my gosh. Gregson, it was kind of a late block, but I mean, that thing was sideways. When that happened, I thought he's hooking it back into the outside wall and the whole outside line was going to be dead. Oh my goodness. Now we ended up getting shuffled out in the end, but I can't believe that he was able to just save that car. I mean, that thing was slideways through the turns at Daytona, and usually that means your day is done. But in Noah Gregson's case, I guess not. My goodness. Appreciate everybody watching so far in this one. 24 likes. 1 like from 25, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, Gregson's car. Let's see. We're going to give the professional breakdown of this. We got Clint Boyer and we got Kevin Harvick. So this is kind of reverse. So basically, if you have Clint Boyer is Daniel Hemrick, and Kevin Harvick is Noah Gragson. Noah Gregson's leading. They go through the turn. Clint Boyer moves low. Gregson comes down, and he basically hooks it, and he is sideways on the apron. Sparks flying, and he hooks it back, and he's able to hang on to it, and honestly not even lose that much pace. But sadly, here comes Allmendinger, and he kind of moves to the inside of Gregson and to the outside of Hemrick, and it shuffles Gregson to the outside with no help, and Gregson falls back really fast. But that was crazy. But Hemrick is able to go 2 for 2 in the stages. Will he be able to go 3 for 3, man? That'll be a big story if Hemrick can start off the 2022 season with a win. I'm going to appreciate everybody who's been tuning in for this one. We got 40 people watching right now and 25 likes. Can we get a couple more? Whew. Man, I'm out of breath from all that action, man. This has been so much fun, this race. Yeah, at the end of it, it was Hemrick, Sieg, Mayer, Allmendinger, Allgaier, Brown, Gibbs, Barry, Snyder, and Jones, the top 10. A lot of those guys were in the top 10 in stage 1, too, so they've picked up quite a few stage points in this one, and Hemrick's picked up the most stage points you can in a race, sweeping the stages, and he's already got 2 playoff points. And once again, Colleague strong at the super speedways. Not quite the dominance we saw in last year's summer Daytona race, but Sam Mayer also had an issue towards the end of that at the end of that stage. I didn't even notice that. They're showing a replay. He made a move to the inside of Herbst, and I don't know what happened, but basically he lost in the hood there's like the hood flaps or whatever. One of those became dislodged, and he also had like a window tear off, like fly off the car. I've never seen just a tear off fly off. Maybe got pried off just a bit somehow from something, but wow, that's crazy. But so far, we've had 5 leaders and 6 lead changes in this one. Your leaders have been Hemrick's led the most laps with 29, Brown's led 12, Grant's led 11, Austin Hill's led 8, and Joe Graff Jr.'s led 3. Also, the free pass from that one was Jeffrey Earnhardt. And so Jeffrey Earnhardt's now back on the lead lap, and Anthony Alfredo is the sole car 1 lap down. So if we do get another caution, Anthony Alfredo will get back on the lead lap. Appreciate everybody watching. We got 26 likes, 42 viewers. How about that? All right, Mark Witkowski. All right, folks, hit the like button, subscribe, and the notifications. That all works good. I'm gonna chat on the screen, Mark. There you go, Mark. I love you guys, and that's the type of mentality you want to have there, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate over 1,300 of you guys have tuned in so far today, just here and there, one at a time. They come onto pit road at the end of stage 2. Anybody going to pull strategy? In stage 1, we saw Joe Graff Jr. stay out. We saw Brandon Brown taking no tires. We saw quite a few guys only take 2, and that really diced up the guys running up front. Are we going to see any more strategy? I think we will. So far, pretty much flawless pit stops from everybody. Anybody going to make some contact on pit road? We saw that in the Truck Series. We saw that in the ARCA Series. We saw that in the Duels. It'd only be consistent if they did it again. Right now, they're repairing the damage that happened to Sam Mayer, or one of his hood flaps basically flew out. So he's going to lose track position, but he's going to probably be able to get back out there without losing a lap. And everybody in the top 8 took 2 tires, so quite a few guys picked up spots. And I'll be right back in a second. Oh, and we got a loose wheel on pit road. It's rolled off and into the infield grass of the tri-oval, so somebody's getting a penalty. It's just a matter of who. I'll be back in a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to grab a little bite to eat. Okay. So there are a couple cars that stayed out on track, but they've all pulled off to pit road now. So your leader will be Daniel Hemrick. So nobody did stay out. So your leader is going to be Daniel Hemrick, then AJ Allmendinger. When they come to picking which lane, we'll have to see who goes high, who goes low. Either way, I think we'll probably see Hemrick go high, and then after they go through the restart, he'll just slide down in front of his teammate Allmendinger, and that way they'll be 1-2, leaving that inside line. But we're past the halfway point in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I'll try to give you guys your running order here in a second. It's just a bit messed up because there were some people who stayed out an extra lap to come down pit road when it's not so busy. But and so that's kind of messed up the running order at the moment. Like Joe Graff Jr. is not running P3 at the moment. I don't know. The one stage to go. Hemrick has swept both stages, but I don't know if he's going to end up getting the win. We'll have to see. I think the quality cars are not going to quite get it done this year. So I think we may see somebody else make a move before this thing's over. Also, when will the big one happen if it does? Also, are we going to see green flag pit stops? Who knows? I do have to say this race feels like it's going by relatively fast. We're at the halfway point, and it's only been about we've only been live for about an hour, so that's pretty quick for a Daytona race. Still, there are 33 cars in this race, 32 on the lead lap, so still a lot of strength in numbers. Mark Witkowski still pulling for the number 7, the corn machine of AJ Allmendinger. Justin Allgaier. Allmendinger. This is why I don't like to commentate the Xfinity races, man. I'm always getting Allgaier and Allmendinger backwards, even when I know which one it is. It just, they're so close, and they're both like so kind of somewhat hard to pronounce names. My prediction is that the winner is going to be a Chevy. That's my solid prediction, even though that's not too bold considering about 70% of the field are Chevys. So the 7 came down pit road, and they filled up that car with fuel one more time after they originally came down pit road. Dude, these chat bots are coming out of nowhere, man. Okay, so here they come through the Geico restart zone. Hemrick on the outside, Allmendinger on the inside. Hemrick gets a good launch. He's going to slide down in front of his teammate. Now that leaves Ty Gibbs and Sheldon Creed leading that outside line. Also, the third quality car, Landon Castle's the third car in that outside line. Can he get up front and help his teammates? That'll make those trio real dangerous if they can all be out front together, working together. Now Hemrick moves up to block that outside line. Now he goes back low to be with his teammate. But that outside line's got a great run coming. Landon Castle's going to be looking to see if he can slip down into that inside line and join his two teammates. Now Gibbs is side by side with Hemrick off turn 4. He may be able to lead this one at the stripe. Hemrick side drafting him through the tri-oval, but he's got help from Creed, and Gibbs is going to lead a lap at Daytona now. Your 6th leader of the day. Also, Landon Castle may be able to move down with his teammates here. There's a bit of a gap. He's not going to be able to quite do it just yet, though. But Gibbs still leading that outside line down the back straightaway with help from Sheldon Creed, who's been a great pusher tonight when he's been up front. Hemrick trying to side draft. Gibbs from the lead almost got stuck in the sucker hole there for a second. And that was a great side draft. Now the inside line's got a big run coming too. That's going to allow Hemrick to go back out front through turns 3 and 4 by about a car length over that outside line. And now the 2 colleague teammates are going to slide up to the outside line ahead of Gibbs. And that leaves Brandon Jones leading that inside line. Now, is Hemrick going to pull down to block that inside line? Not this time. Whoa, guess what happened under this last pit stop break? They're just showing this real quick. It was Jeb Burton when he came into his pit stall, just about took down his jack man. Now down the back straightaway, wow, that Outside line's gotten formed up pretty well. Your top 5 are just about clear of that inside line. Inside line still led by Brandon Jones and Noah Gregson. Riley Herbst tried to poke on a line just a bit on that outside. Didn't quite work. But you got 2 colored cars out front. Then Ty Gibbs, Sheldon Creed, and then Landon Castle. So you got 3 colored cars in the top 5. But that outside line still working together really good. Mark Witkowski, good to see Landon Castle on the good ride. Yep, I agree with that. Donald McComb, nice job, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Up to 32 likes, by the way. Thank you for everybody who's been liking the stream today. Man, those 2 colored cars, man, it's so hard to get by them. Like Ty Gibbs, he knows he's fast. He knows if he gets out front, he can probably lead for a bit. But he knows to get by those 2 colored cars, it's going to take a big run. And right now, the inside line just isn't quite formed up. So it's just a bit too risky for him to make that move right now. He does have a Toyota teammate leading that inside line in Brandon Jones. But I don't know if that's going to be enough help for him. And I've got 2 Junior Motorsports cars kind of leading an inside, a middle lane right now. Oh, Austin Hill goes to the inside of Noah Gregson and Brandon Jones. So he gets a 2-for-1 right there, making a pass on the inside line. Now he's the leader of that inside line. That did kind of hurt the momentum of the inside line, though. Now about the top 6 are clear of that inside line. $49 to go here at Daytona. Oh boy, we're getting racy. Oh, Ryan Sieg, he got into the quarter panel. It looked maybe Justin Allgaier or Josh Berry there for a second. He got pretty loose, but it looks like he's gonna be able to manage it. Oh, Landon Castle goes low to the inside of Sheldon Creed, and everybody in front of Sheldon goes low. That's gonna shuffle Sheldon Creed, and it's also gonna get Landon a bit closer to his 2 colleague teammates. Now the only car separating all 3 colleague cars is Ty Gibbs, and also Austin Hill goes to the inside of Brandon Brown, and Brandon Brown looks like he's going to get stuck in the sucker hole. Oh, he's going backwards now. He's doing a pretty good job of staying up near the front, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to work his way back up to the front here before this is over. And those cars are just flying down the back straightaway. You got 2 colleague cars, then Gibbs, and then the 3rd colleague car. So if they can all, if Ty Gibbs gets shuffled out by the 3 colleague cars, it's just about over, in my opinion. Because those 3 colleague cars are just going to be able to work together and just manage the lead so well, like they were last year so many times. Or they were able to last year so many times. I heard somebody say pit, 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 a radio man. So I don't know who that was, or if maybe they're saying something else, but we'll have to see if somebody's trying to come to pit road here soon. Because it's 47 to go, so they may just they may just be getting into their fuel range. Hemrick, Allmendinger, Gibbs, Castle, Austin Hill, your top 5 in the inside line, and they're just about all clear of that outside line, which is led by Sheldon Creed, who's getting pushed Riley Herbst. So that inside line starting to prevail more and more. Oh, and here come the Chevys to pit road, or at least the colleague cars else coming with them. It looks like just the colleague cars are coming to pit road right now. With 46 to go. They must have just been able to get into their fuel. So Hemrick comes in, so does Allmendinger. I don't know if anybody else is with them. It looks like Castle is. It may just be the 3 colleague cars. So that may hurt them that they don't have strength in numbers. Are more people going to start to come this time? Will we see any incidents with people trying to get to pit road? Are we going to see anybody else try and run it as long as they can? I know Allgaier is probably going to try and run it as long as he can, considering that he came back to pit road under that last caution to top it off. And, oh, Mayer's gone around. He's been tagged by somebody. The rear bumper comes flying off. Is the caution going to come out? The caution's not out yet. He kind of saved it. That was one crazy spin. He did like a 720 there. Back and forth, back and forth. The bumper flew off that thing, and it kind of flew all the way down to the inside wall. So I don't know if they're going to throw a caution out for that or not. They've already got a bumper over the wall that they're going to try and maybe throw on there. Maybe they won't this time, but they're changing the tires on that thing. It looks like all the other junior motorsports cars came down, as well as the 2 RCR cars and Jade Buford. 5 to go. And now you got the Toyotas out front. Are they going to come this time? Yes, they will. The Toyotas, the Fords, a couple Chevys. And Mayer's leaving pit road now. They did not put a bumper on it this time. Wow, everybody's on pit road. We're seeing people checking up everywhere. A lot of people are just doing gas only to get to the end. It's not a bad strategy. A couple people getting a window tear off. I don't see anybody taking tires. Justin Allgaier tried to pit last time, but since Mayer spun out in front of him, he tried to bail out of it. Didn't want to get involved in that. But it's 44 to go, and there's still a handful of cars out there. And now you and a couple others pulling off. Can't quite tell who they are. It looks like got Jeb Burton with. Oh, somebody came flying on there. The 34 of some, I don't know who's driving the 34, but he definitely just got a speeding penalty. He just about flew in there about 15 miles per hour quicker than anybody else on pit road. He nearly went into the grass on that one. Now there's still about, it looks like Josh Bilicki and Ryan Vargas, and who is that? The 44 of Tommy Joe Martins are, and a gaggle of other cars are still out there. Kind of the lead pack, if you will. Now it depends if any more of them are going to come down pit road this time. There's about 8 cars out there who have not pitted yet. Are they going to come now? Or are they going to try and run it as long as they can? It looks like Tommy Joe Martins is coming down this time, but he's the only one of this pack of about 8 cars. Right now, the leaders of the guys who pitted are Austin Hill, Gregson, Creed, Buford, Allmendinger, Castle, Hemrick, and then they pretty much all joined back together pretty smoothly. It looks like that all the guys who just pitted. It's just now the leaders Austin Hill, and the Chevrolets have been able to get out front ahead of the College cars. Yeah, there's a group of about 8 Chevrolets here working together, and not too far behind them, they've got the Toyotas and so. But yeah, still that group of about 7 or so cars, they're still out there running laps. I don't know if they're going to run it till a caution or if they're going to run it till they get close to empty. We'll have to see. Now we're seeing a replay of that Mayer spin. So it looks like Sheldon Creed just came down on him. Really nothing Mayer did there. So the bumper came off, and it looks like they're going to make him come back in and put the bumper on that car. So that's definitely going to cost him a couple laps and probably end up costing his chances at a win tonight, unless he gets a lucky caution. He's able to repair that under caution. Now this gaggle of about 7 cars that haven't pitted yet, they keep trying to like bobble around and fight for a position, and that's really kind of hurting their pace. So that may end up hurting them once they end up finally pitting and merging with the rest of the field. And they are getting caught by that pack of Chevrolets that pitted about half a second a lap. But 40 to go here at Daytona. 80 laps complete, 2/3 of the way through this race. This lead pack now only has about 5 cars in it. 2 of the cars lost the draft. They may be trying to come to pit road here. Josh Bilicki still leading. Mark Witkowski, get tires if you get fuel. Well, the thing is, they're just trying to make these quick pit stops as quick as they can. And the thing is at Daytona, the tires really don't matter that much. Sergides, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon Brown, guys. Let's go. We're gonna keep it to Brandon Brown here in terms of our let's go, Brandon usage. But let's go, Brandon Brown. Whoo, boy, I am excited, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited. I would really like to see Brandon get the win since he's just struggling for sponsorship. And hopefully that win would help him get some more sponsors. It does look like Josh Williams and Matt Mills, two of the cars in that 7-car draft that hadn't pitted yet, they just came down. Now that group of cars only has about 5 cars in it. But yeah, it looks like comparatively with lap times, Josh Bilicki and those 5 cars that haven't pitted yet ran 48 sixes, and Austin Hill and that pack of Chevrolets that did just pit are running 48 flats or 48 ones. So they're picking up about a half a second a lap. And at that rate, they'll catch them just about before this thing's over, but they're going to have to pit before that. So we'll have to see. I think this group of 5 cars are just kind of waiting for a caution and hoping they get a caution that helps them get a track position boost. But so far, the beef it's what's for dinner has been pretty solid. I definitely give this race about a 6 or 7 out of 10 so far. But are we going to see the big one, guys? Are we going to see the big one? And when will it happen is the question. And who's it going to take out with it? Almost 1,800 viewers so far today. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. We're at 32 likes, guys. We got 46 people watching. Can we get to 40 likes? Can we get to 44 likes for New York Racing and the Biff? Whew. This has been a great one, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, still, those 5 cars who didn't pit are still out there running laps. And last time by, that pack ran 45 or 48 fives, but that pack of Chevrolets catching them ran 47 sixes, so nearly a second quicker. And now this time by, there's the caution, though. The caution is out. I don't know for what. The caution is out on track, and it's a bumper cover. I bet you that came off that came off Sam Mayer. Maybe the bumper cover they tried to stick back on there to replace it. Did not stick on there, and it's fallen off that machine. Or it's somebody else's, who knows. But that's the 4th caution, and that's what that lead pack of 5 guys who are staying out, that's what they wanted to happen. But man, Sam Mayer lost the bumper cover, and that, I wonder if they did that on purpose, man, just to stick that on there and get a caution right away, so that way they wouldn't lose as much time. But because of that repair, that cost the 5 laps on the track. And it looks like Jesse Iwuji also lost 2 laps. I don't know why, but he's probably going to be the car to get the free pass. We'll just check and confirm if it's him or Alfredo here real quick. They haven't said who the beneficiary will be yet. Man, Alfredo he just keeps missing the free pass, but I think we may see some guys pit, so he may be able to take the wave around under this caution. We'll see. Mark Witkowski says the big one is not going to happen until the last 6 laps. I don't know. I think we're going to see something happen before then. We will definitely probably get a crash in the last 6 laps, but I think we're going to see some action happen before that. Yeah, so Sam Mayer's gone through 2 bumper covers in the span of about 10 laps. So are they going to have a third one they can slap on there? Is the real question. I wonder if he's going to get some sort of penalty for, I don't know if they can really penalize them for this or not, but I mean, he basically just went out there after a bumper cover was probably put on there not properly or not well enough. And they probably just did that so that way they wouldn't lose as much time. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Either way, he's pretty much out of this race considering he's 5 laps down. But Josh Bilicki, Ryan Vargas, Bailey Curry, Shane Lee, and CJ McLaughlin were all still on track. And they hadn't pitted yet when that caution came out. So now they're all going to pit. And you're probably going to see Austin Hill, Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, and Landon Castle cycle to the lead. So you're going to have Austin Hill and Noah Gragson. And then you're going to have the 3 Colleague cars lining up behind them. So they're going to be pretty scared considering they're going to have the 3 Colleague cars all working together again. And that is not something you want to see at the super speedways if you're the competition. But anyways, if you guys are wondering how people did it in the stages, Daniel Hemrick was able to sweep in and sweep the stages. Other guys who are able to score stage points. Brandon Brown, I know, scored points in both stages. No, Gregson got, I believe, some points in stage 1. He almost got points in stage 2, but he got shuffled out towards the end. I'm trying to click over to the stage 2, stage 1 thing, but it's not letting me, I guess. But all the Colleague cars were able to score some stage points. The RCR cars both scored decent stage points too, I believe. Oh my God, more bots. But we're gonna have to see. You're going to have to see if we. Oh, I'm brain farting. If we get another caution after this or not. Is it gonna run green to the end? I am willing to bet that it will not. But appreciate you guys who are tuning in. We just hit our peak viewers on the day. Nearly 55 people tuned in there for a split second. Almost at 1,200 viewers in the last hour. And almost at 2,000 viewers on the day. So I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in. And here they come down pit road. All those 5 guys who stayed out there coming in, a handful of others maybe from farther back in the pack coming in to make a couple of adjustments. People who really aren't worried about their track position. But Daniel Hemrick comes in, so that's a bit of a surprise. I don't know if they feel like they have some sort of damage or if they just want to top off because they feel like they didn't get enough gas in it or something. We'll see when he pulls in. They're changing right sides and filling it up with gas. So. And they're doing right sides as well on the 11 car. So you're gonna have Barry and Hemrick who are gonna be restarting at the tail end of the field. So this did not quite work out for the Colleague cars. They had all 3 cars at the front for like the first time tonight, and now they're all of a sudden shot all the way back to the rear of the field here with 4:35 to go or so. Mark Witkowski, can you come here and buy a ticket? If I could, I would. Jack Keithley live. I want to watch the race, not live leaderboard. I'm in the UK, so how can I watch the actual race? I have no clue if you're in the UK. I mean, if you're in the US, I don't know if you can buy Hulu in the UK, then maybe you can watch it on Hulu. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not some international expert. Sorry about that. If you were in the US, I know you could buy Hulu or you could. It's on FS1, so anything that includes FS1, any TV package. Here, Mark Witkowski. I can come if you can come here and buy me a ticket. 34 likes, guys. Appreciate it. We're closing in on the end of this one. The restart will probably happen with about 30 to go, or the equivalent of basically stage 1 or stage 2. So now at this restart, it'll be Austin Hill, Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, Landon Castle, Ty Gibbs, your top 5. So 4 Chevys and 1 Toyota. And then you're going to have Buford, Jones, Herbst, Sieg, and Creed, your top 10. So your top 10's got 6 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and 2 Fords. Then you got Brandon Brown, Ryan Truex, Justin Allgaier, Jeb Burton, Myatt Snyder, Tommy Joe Martins, Kyle Sieg. Kyle Sieg and Ryan Sieg are in this one. Brett Moffitt, Josh Williams, and Josh Bilicki are top 20. Then Shane Lee, CJ McLaughlin, Bailey Curry, Kyle Weatherman, Joey Gase, your top 25. Vargas, Barry, Mills, Yaley, Jesse Iwuji, your top 30. And then Earnhardt and Hemrick round out your top 32. And that's all 32 cars on the lead lap. And then you got Anthony Alfredo and 33rd, 1 lap down. Sam Mayer, 7 laps down after issues he had with his bumper cover coming off. And then Joe Graff Jr. in 35th is 10 laps down. He must have had some issue just now. I don't know if he's out of it for good or not, but he was up front, led a couple laps early on in this thing, but looks like his days ended a bit early. And then you got Drew Dollar, Jeremy Clements, who got involved in a crash early on, and Cesar Boscarella, who pulled off early on with some sort of mechanical issue. Appreciate it, though. 40 of you guys watching right now, 34 likes. Can we hit 40 likes? Mark Krakowski, this is when the cars start floating. Oh, boy. So we're going to see, is Austin Hill going to pick the low line or the high line? And will we see a rookie get a win here in the Daytona 300, 500? And the lights are out on the pace car, so Austin Hill's going to go with the low line. Gregson will be on the outside then. Oh, and Daniel Hemrick did get a penalty under that pit stop under caution. He too fast entering, and also it looks like he must have got some front end damage. They put just a small piece of tape on the front, so nothing I'd be too worried about, but it'll be interesting to see if Hemrick can work his way from the tail end of the field back to the front with only 30 laps. He swept both the first 2 stages. Can he get back to the front and win the third? That's going to be the question. And then in row 2, you got 2 colored cars, Allmendinger and Castle. Will they be able to work together and take away the lead from Hill and Gregson? And then you've got some underdogs scattered throughout your top 10. You got Austin Hill, a rookie, up front. Jade Buford in P6. Ryan Sieg in P9. Sheldon Creed, another rookie in P10. Then Brandon Brown, the last winner at a super speedway in the Xfinity Series, in P11. And then Ryan Truex, who started at this race in last place, is in P12. And for all the Allgaier fans, he's in P13. Oh boy, guys. I think we're going to see the big one sooner than later with 30 to go in this one. So they're going to be coming off turn 4. The lights are out on the pace car. 35 likes. I appreciate it, guys. Hill on the inside, Gregson on the inside. Allmendinger pushing Hill, Castle pushing Gregson. Who's going to get the jump? They're coming to the green with 30 to go. The pace car pulls off through the Geico restart zone. They go. Gregson spins the tires. Hill gets a good shove from Allmendinger. He's going to get a good launch down in turns 1 and 2. Hill's leading here after the restart. Now Castle's all over the bumper of Gregson down into turns 1 and 2. Gregson's getting a run on the outside. Castle has no help on his bumper, though. So that inside line's going to get a knife shoved through turns 1 and 2 and probably get a nice run down the back straightaway. They're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 through the top 6 rows, and then there's a bit of a gap back behind them. I don't know. Some people spun their tires back in the midfield, and that's why there's a separation or 2 packs so far. Austin Hill darts up to the outside line to block Noah Gragson. Then he comes back down to get a shove from AJ Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs through turns 3 and 4. There they go. Austin Hill then laps early on. He's back out front late in this one. Can Austin Hill get the win as a rookie? Oh, somebody's sideways in the back of the pack. Oh, they're crashing. They're crashing. Oh, no, that's the 44. Hemrick's in it. Hemrick's in it. 02 of Moffitt. Tommy Joe Martins. A lot of back markers involved. Oh boy, Moffitt doesn't have a lot of damage, but the front end's killed. The 38's hooked in. The 78 of Josh Williams is killed. The 53 of Joey Gase is hit the inside wall. The 35 spun out in the infield. The 24 spun out in the infield. Oh boy, a lot of cars involved in this one. There isn't too much damage, but the 11's pretty killed. The rear bumper was hanging on by a thread. The 35 has also gotten some big splitter damage from the grass on the infield. That thing's radiator or something's busted. It's probably done. So let's see. The 38 just loses it. He just hooks it inside, comes flying back, and then overcorrects it and takes out the 44, 78, 02, and just a ton of others. And a lot of guys go flying down pit road, and the 53 went flying down pit road and crashed it into the inside wall, actually. So that's pretty scary. I want to see where the 53, if they show a clip of him hitting the pit wall. They're thankful nobody got hurt with that. But you see, a lot of these cars weren't that bad, and then they just dig into the grass, and that's what kills these cars, man. Like, the grass is really the killer for a lot of these guys on this one. Oh, boy. So many cars torn up. Guys who are having solid days, not really doing anything wrong, staying on the lead lap. And then the 38 just hooks it back up into the field, and he gets a direct shot to, who was that again? I don't even know, but I'll look at it again. I think it was a 36 maybe. And he shot that car up into the air, and that thing's killed. Yeah, they come crashing up, and a bunch of guys go diving down pit road. Oh, man. So basically, they spin, and they're all up in the wall, and all these guys in the back go flying down, and they basically all just have no choice but to go flying through the grass, and all of them basically get their front ends just killed. Yeah, the 92 Kyle Weatherman, he was having a solid run near the fronts. That car is killed. We may see a red flag here, maybe not, but they're trying to get that 11 car. They're trying to get a new rear bumper on that thing, trying to repair that. I believe this gives the free pass to Anthony Alfredo. We'll check that, though, really quick. But that caution came out at lap 90. I believe the free pass is going to be Alfredo. They haven't confirmed it yet on the NASCAR website. But he was the only car one lap down at the caution. And 38 just hooked it in front of the rear half of the field, and nobody had anywhere to go. Tore up a lot of cars. I didn't take out really too many big names near the front, at least, but yikes. Appreciate everybody who's been watching tonight. Over 2,000 of you guys have tuned in at some point. Adrenaline is spiking, says Mark. I think the drivers are getting pretty heated up there for a couple laps, and now, I mean, I think they may cool down just for a bit now that they realize that about a quarter of the field's gone, but the intensity will pick up pretty soon again, I'm sure. Guys, this is intense. This is intense. This is where it's make your money time, make your way into the playoffs with the win time. But We'll see. The running order is pretty much still the same at the top. It's Austin Hill, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson, Landon Castle. So the two colored cars got separated there just by a couple spots. Then Brandon Jones, Jade Buford, Riley Herbst, Ryan Sieg, and Sheldon Creed, your top 10. Then Brown, Allgaier, Truex, Snyder, Burton, Balicki, Sieg, Iwuji, and Barry and Vargas, your top 20. But yeah, that one probably ended about 5 to 10 guys' races there. Woo! Appreciate everybody watching, guys. At 36 likes, can we get to 40 or even 50? 50 would be nice, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, and the bots are back. The bots are back. Oh. Well, ladies and gentle cars, the intensity is picking up with the first, we'll say small big one of the day, when the 38 of CJ McLaughlin kind of got loose off turn 4, nearly saved it, but overcorrected it and took out about 10 or so cars with him. And then a lot of cars in avoidance dived low and went through that infield grass and tore up the front end of their cars, and the splitter just dug in, as always. And I'm really torn on the idea of putting in turf on a lot of these infields, because then the cars don't necessarily dig into the grass, you know what I mean? But I do really just like the idea of the grass. Like, it just feels, classical, you know what I mean? Now, I know it does suck when your favorite driver's front end digs into the grass, but I just feel like it's just part of the race, you know what I mean? Up to 38 likes, I appreciate it. But we're probably going to get restarted with about 23 laps to go in this one. And that is that we've had 8 leaders and 12 lead changes. 11 of Daniel Hemrick's led the most times tonight, 4 times, and led the most laps, 39. But he might be out of this one. He got quite a bit of damage under this last caution. Tore off his rear bumper. He's still on the lead lap, but I don't think that car is going to have the same pace it once did. He also swept both stage 1 and stage 2. Austin Hill, who's out front right now, led earlier in this race. He's led for 17 laps. Brandon Brown led for 12 laps earlier under pit cycles. Joe Graff led 3 laps, and Josh Blicky led 10. Ty Gibbs was out front for just a bit when he was doing a back and forth with some of the college cars. He led 3 laps. Gregson's led 11 laps, and Josh Berry was out front for 1. But I think we're going to see a lot more lead changes before this one is over. The beef is what's for dinner trophy is literally just like what do you call them? Like a massive cooler with some massive pieces of meat in there. So somebody's going to whoever wins is going to be turning on the grill tonight and probably frying up some of that meat, grilling some of that meat. Also, guys, can you slightly hear the TV broadcast in the background? I'm just wondering. Anybody can let me know in the chat. Nearly over 2,100 of you guys have tuned in tonight. I appreciate that. Oh boy, things are getting crazy and intense, that's sure to say. But I think right now my pick to win if it's not a Kaulig car, I really don't want it to be a Kaulig car. I like all the Kaulig drivers, but they've just been so dominant on the super speedways. I just want somebody else to get the win. I think Gregson getting the win. He'd be trying to go 2 for 2 on the weekend. And tomorrow's Daytona 500. Austin Hill, a rookie, would be cool, as well as Sheldon Creed, one of the RCR rookie teammates. I think Jade Buford winning it would be amazing. Brandon Brown getting another win on the super speedway. That'd be I'd like to see it for Brandon Brown because he probably needs it the most since he's got the sponsorship issues. And I mean, I think I'd love to see Brandon Brown win. Ryan Truex, that'd be crazy. He started this race in last, and if he's able to get the win, that'd be pretty crazy. Allgaier in 13th. A lot of you guys are rooting for him. Myatt Snyder with Jordan Anderson Racing. They're just hoping to get a good result after Anderson wasn't able to qualify for the truck race yesterday. Josh Bilicki, it'd be cool to see him get a win. He's a great guy, doing a couple more races for Spire this year, so he's got a bit of an upgrade for Rick Ware Racing for 2022. If Kyle Sieg won this race, that'd be crazy. He's got hardly any experience in the Xfinity series. He made a handful of starts last year. Ryan Vargas, that'd be a great win. Bailey Curry. Bailey Curry's a cool guy. Matt Mills, JJ Yaley, Tommy Joe. Anthony Alfredo is back on lead lap. And I think Alfredo is definitely going to get to the front before this thing's over. Maybe not lead, but he's going to try and get up there and fight it with the big dogs. Right now, there's a couple of guys 1 laps down. Joey Gase and Daniel Hemrick did end up losing a lap when they were having to repair damage. So it'll be a fight between Joey Gase and Daniel Hemrick for the lucky dog if we get another caution. But it does look like there is still about like 33 or 34 cars in this race. And here they come to the Geico restart zone. Austin Hill on the inside. No, Gregson on the outside. Allmendinger pushing Hill. Castle pushing Gregson. And now Austin Hill with a great restart once again. He's already clear of Gregson. Down towards 1 and 2 they go. They're already 3 wide towards the back of the pack. Austin Hill, though, he's got a couple car lengths between him and Allmendinger. That means they may be able to get a big run up on him. Oh, Gregson's getting hooked a bit by Castle. Castle's kind of on his bumper weird. That gets Gregson a bit loose. Now Castle tucks low, and now he's on the bumper of Allmendinger. Now you got 2 Kaulig cars working together, and they get to the inside of Austin Hill. Now you got Allmendinger leading the inside line, Hill leading the outside line. Down the back straightaway they go with 23 to go. In the beef, it's what's for dinner 300 at Daytona. Austin Hill just edging out ahead of Landon Castle for the second spot through turns 3 and 4, but Allmendinger now in command of this race. Will the outside line be able to get a big enough run to get back by him? We're going to have to pay close attention. It's basically just the 2 Kaulig cars now after Hemrick got taken out in that earlier accident, and he's now lapped down with some severe damage. Austin Hill gets a good run to the outside of the 16. He's going to try and side draft him a bit through the turns 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to get a nice shove from Gregson off corner exit? 22 to go at Daytona as they go down the back straightaway. Hill looks like might have the slight edge over Allmendinger. Now Allmendinger with the slight edge over Hill. That outside line looks maybe slightly bit more organized than the inside right now. Woo! But it looks like right now Austin Hill's got a good run off turn 4, so he can be able to lead this one at the stripe. Allmendinger's got the edge, though. It looks like Allmendinger's going to lead another lap here at Daytona. Oh, Herbst goes to the inside of Buford. Now they're 3 wide, a couple rows deep in the mid-pack. Austin Hill and Allmendinger just going back and forth, back and forth. That outside line getting a bit discombobulated right now. That's going to allow the inside line to get a nice run. But here comes Gregson back to the bumper of Hill down the back straightaway. They're coming up on a lapped car here. This may cause some issues. Oh, it looks like Gibbs got real sideways on the bumper of his teammate Jones there. I'm not really sure if anybody was at fault. Now they're 3 wide in the 4th row of this field. They're going to be coming up on a lapped car here soon. Of the lapped car of the 34. How will they be able to work around him? The 16 still leads by a car length at the stripe. Oh, this is going to get frisky going around the 34. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. They're 3 wide in some places. Are they all going to be able to fit? The first couple cars are by him. Allmendinger still leads over Castle and Hill. Now they're kind of working by him. Now they're to the backstretch, so they got more space. Somebody looks like maybe have tagged the wall off turn 2, or they were really close. That outside line's getting a good run, but Allmendinger goes down to the bumper of his teammate where he'll get a nice shove. They were able to negotiate past that lap car. That was good job by the mid-pack. Alfredo's worked his way back up to 15th now that he's finally on the lead lap. Oh my God. Are we doing a commercial break? No way. You can't. Oh my God. If we go to commercial, I'm going to cry. Please go nonstop. Please go nonstop. Please go. Yeah, okay. They went to nonstop. Thank God. Okay. Nonstop with 19 to go at Daytona. Alfredo's now ahead, or Alfredo Hill is now ahead of Allmendinger. That outside line's got a good run. Gregson thought about making it 3 wide for the lead for a second, but he's going to tuck back into the outside line and give help to Austin Hill. Now the Collin cars have no help on the inside line, and they're dropping back a couple spots. But Allgaier goes to the bumper of Castle. Now they got 3 strong cars on the inside line. Hill's a couple car lengths out in front of Gregson. Will Gregson make a move on him? No, he won't. Gregson goes to the bumper of Hill, gives him a shove now. Allmendinger edges out ahead of Hill by just a couple inches through turns 3 and 4. Off corner exit. Hill's got a good run once again. Now Allmendinger side drafting him through the tri-oval. Allmendinger's going to lead at that time at the stripe. 17 to go now at Daytona. Or 18 to go, my bad. Okay, so now Hill edges out ahead of Allmendinger once again. That outside line seems a bit stronger than the inside right now. Oh, man, things are picking up. They're side by side for second. Hill's clear of the battle for the lead for now. Oh, Buford's going back and forth. He's sparking to see if a flat tire. He straightens it out for the turns 3 and 4. Maybe he has a tire going down. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was just him hitting the ground a bit. I have no clue. But to see if a tire going down on that 48 is the question. They're 3 wide in the mid-pack. And Austin Hill leads another lap at Daytona. Him and Gregson are now almost clear of Allmendinger, and so they're going to be side by side for third. Herbst and Allmendinger. The 2 Collin cars don't really have a ton of help on the inside line right now, and the outside line is just really organized, so they're really having to fight them. Herbst goes down and side drafts Allmendinger in turns 1 and 2. Nice move by Herbst. That 48, it just keeps sparking, so I don't know if they got an issue or not. It may just be that car is really low on the ground. I think the 48's got a flat tire, man. That left front of the splitter just keeps touching the ground. I don't think it's flat, but I think it may be slowly going down. Maybe they're running a bit too low of an air pressure. Off turn 4, here they come. Austin Hill's looking to lead another lap. It's going to be 16 to go this time at the stripe. You got a lead pack of about 20 cars right now. Herbst may be looking to move down to the inside line. No, not yet. It's Hill, Gregson, Herbst, Buford, Allmendinger, your top 5. Inside line gets a good run through turns 1 and 2. Allmendinger almost gets to the side of Austin Hill down the back straightaway. What a run from the inside. And just like that, they're side by side for second once again. Oh, Allgaier's trying to shuffle out Landon Castle. That's going to separate the 2 Collin cars, and Landon Castle's stuck on the inside line. He's getting shuffled out here. That's going to hurt the momentum of the inside line, that's for sure. And that allows the outside line to really organize themselves for a good shove off turn 4. And they're going to clear Allmendinger by a couple cars now. And Castle's going to the back of this lead pack in a hurry. And it's 15 to go. This time at the stripe, Austin Hill still leads. Austin Hill still staying in command of this race. Gregson goes down to side draft Allmendinger through turns 1 and 2, but Allmendinger with a strong run off corner exit. But here comes the outside line who's organizing down the back straightaway. Oh, Gregson has a bobble. Straightens it out. Oh, they're pushing hard right now. They're pushing hard. They're side by side, side by side, side by side for about 10 rows in this lead draft right now. Inside line's now edging ahead. Allmendinger may be able to slide up and block that outside line now. Or is he going to stay with Allgaier, who's been a really strong pusher for the last couple laps? Allgaier did just shuffle out his teammates, so he doesn't know how much he can trust that 7 car. And he's going to try and slide up and block that outside line into turns 1 and 2. He will, but he's going to cut back down to the inside line as they go through turns 1 and 2. 14 to go from Daytona. Jade Buford's been shuffled out to the outside line with no help. And Allmendinger in command. They're 3 wide in the mid-pack. Oh boy. Allmendinger leads Austin Hill and Gregson. And then Gregson and his teammate Justin Allgaier are side by side for third. Allmendinger is just going to try and stay in command of this race. The inside line has lost a bit of its strength. And now it's really that outside line in command. I think we may see them kind of form into a choo-choo train on the outside line for just a couple laps here before they spice it up at the finish. Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Gregson, Herbst, Creed, your top five. You got two RCR cars in the top five. You got Herbst in fourth, searching for his first career win. Then Buford and Snyder in sixth and seventh. Balicki in ninth. Brown in 10th. Allgaier's going to tuck in line behind Brown and ahead of Castle in the 10th spot. And it's 12 to go. Ooh, as they go NASCAR nonstop. They keep having so many commercial breaks, man. I can't believe it. But they are single file now through about the top 15 or so. And then after that, they're side by side for a handful of rows. But I think we're going to go to the choo-choo train for about 5 or 6 laps. And then they're going to spice things up with about 5 to go is my anticipation. Every fan in Daytona is on their feet right now trying to watch the action. And Allmendinger still staying in control of this one. But he doesn't have any teammate there to help him. Landon Castle got shuffled out, and he's all the way back in 11th. And Buford's left front just keeps dragging. I don't know if it's been like that the whole race or not. So I guess maybe he doesn't have an issue. Maybe it's just how they're running that car. But it keeps sparking all the time. And it's not even in the corners. It's on the straightaways, which is really what I find peculiar. There, I still kind of butchered that word. I'll say strange. There we go. But they come to 11 to go this time. They're still single file throughout the top 10. But who's going to make a move and when is the question. My audio is very inconsistent. Dang it. Why is it like that, man? I'm sorry, man. Hopefully it's improving. Hey, we're to 40 likes, so hopefully we can get to 45. It's something about my streams, man. I'm going to try and get a new app or something. Or not a new app, but a new program I send it through or something. Or see if I can improve the connection. But it's the same with my camera. The audio and the camera are both pretty laggy. The audio is a bit more consistent, though, than the camera, I feel. Allmendinger still leads this time. It's 10 to go in the race. And they're single file throughout the top 15 or so. And then there's about a small break between the packs. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in so far today. Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Gregson, Herbst, and Sheldon Creed, your top five still. So they barrel down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Still, nobody's decided to peek out and make a move yet amongst this top 15 or so. Your lead draft still contains 17 cars, and then it's about a half second yet back to another pack of about 10 cars. Oh, boy. 9 to go. Still single file. Everybody's still playing it safe, waiting to make the move. You don't want to make it too soon. The spotters are trying to communicate, all agree on when they're going to make that move. In the top 10, you have 5 guys who have never won in an Xfinity Series race. And you have 7 guys who have won only once or less. So these guys are going to be thirsting for that win, thirsting to get to the lead and be ready to pounce and make a move. But yeah, you got this lead draft of 17 cars just biding their time right now. Oh, boy. 8 to go. 8 to go. The intensity is building. Now this lead draft has about 19 cars in it. Some guys who are a couple car lengths back were able to catch back up. Creed all over the bumper of Hurst. You got 2 RCR cars in the top 5, so I would not be surprised if they go and make a move together at the same time. But will Allgaier be able to block it? I mean, Allmendinger be able to block it? Or will Gragson be able to get in between them? I mean, you're only teammates for so long at Daytona. It'll just come down to who gets that win, who wants that win. 7 to go at Daytona. Oh boy. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen. And towards the back of the pack, they're dicing things up. They're going side by side. It's outside the top 10, but people trying to make a move if they can. Everybody kind of tries to duck back in line going down the back straightaway. So some people pulled out and tried to see who would go with them, but not enough people decided to go. So you got about 4 cars all working together on the inside line, sort of in about 10th to 15th place range. But all these guys towards the bottom half of the top 10 know they got to go here soon because you can't win the race from 8th place. But Brandon Brown got pretty loose there and lost a couple spots. Now, Allgaier and Castle kind of working together to pick off a car here one at a time. Allgaier slides up in a spot, but Castle doesn't seem like he's going to have anywhere to slide up in. So Castle's going to lose a couple spots here. It looks like down the back straightaway with no help on the inside line. 6 to go. It's still Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Gregson, Herbst, and Creed Snyder, your top 6. None of those guys have been willing to make a move yet. Allgaier going to the inside of but it's not going to work out. There's nowhere for him to slide up, and he's going to fall back now. 5 to go at Daytona, man. Are they going to make a move towards the pack? They're trying to dice it up, but the guys at the front just aren't willing to go yet. Appreciate everybody tuning in right now. Over 50 people watching. Appreciate all of it. All of you guys tuning in. 40 likes. Appreciate it if we get a couple more. 5 to go down the back straightaway. Allmendinger, Hill, Gregson, Herbst, Creed, your top 5. Still nobody willing to budge. Can Allmendinger hold on and get the win to start off the season? Are we going to see a big one before this thing's over? And who's going to go with it? Gregson running in third. You know he's not going to stay content and just ride along there. He wants to get that win. You got 2 rookies in the top 5. You know they want to try and break through to get that win to start off the season. Herbst, with all the hate he receives, he knows he wants to get a win and try and prove the haters wrong. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Like Linda. Allgaier's leading the inside line, but he's all the way in about the 7th to 8th place spot. So he's going to need a lot of help from guys ahead of him to move down and try and give that inside line more strength. 4 to go down the back straightaway. It's a pressure cooker environment, that's for sure. Allgaier's now side by side with Snyder for 6th. He's going to get close to the front. You got to wonder if any of these guys are just going to think, I got to go down with Allgaier. Time to go. 3 to go at the stripe. Allmendinger still leads. And it looks like Creed's going to go low on Herbst. Creed's moving to the inside line from the 5th position. He moves down with Allgaier. And so does Gregson. Gregson goes to the inside. Austin Hill. Hill's not able to make the move. Is Gregson going to be able to get to the bumper of Allmendinger? No, he's not. Allmendinger is going to move down and block that inside line. But he's going to have to slide up and block the outside now. Oh, boy. Now you got 2 even lines. Gregson gets to the corner panel of Allmendinger through turns 3 and 4. Can he edge out ahead of him? Off turn 4 exit. Yes, he will. Who's going to lead it at the light? At the line. That inside line looks a bit stronger right now, being led by Gregson. 2 to go. Oh, boy. Only 2 more laps. Allmendinger on the outside, Gregson on the inside. Then you got the RCR teammates behind him. Oh, boy. And they're 3 wide, a couple rows deep, farther back in the pack. Oh, somebody has a bobble, but they correct it. Are they going to wreck it down the back straightaway? Oh, Castle gets knocked down a line. He goes to the inside of Allgaier. Payback for earlier. And now Allmendinger's edged out to the front with the inside line, losing a bit of their strength. Coming off turn 4, are we going to see a caution, or will they get the white flag here at Daytona? Turn 4, are we going to get a caution before the stripe? No, we're going to get the white flag at Daytona. The next flag will end it. Allmendinger out front with Austin Hill behind him. Then they're 2 by 2 behind them. Oh, Gregson. Oh, I thought he was about to get hooked off Creed there for a second. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. Oh, they're bobbling. They're everywhere. Allmendinger's still in command, though. He's got quite a lead. Hill's going to get a big push down the back straightaway. Will Allmendinger be able to block it? He moves up. Hill crosses him over. Oh, it's the inside. Oh, Snyder. Oh, my gosh. Snyder had a huge crash. I think Austin Hill's in the lead. Oh, my gosh. Snyder. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. That thing's killed. That was like the Kyle Larson crash just on the back straightaway. Oh, my gosh. And I think the rookie may have won it, but oh, my gosh. Snyder just flew up. Oh, he's got the window net down already, but oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. He just got hooked into the wall and started flipping up over. Okay, so already out of the car. That's a good sign. But is everybody else okay in that? My good, that was that was crazy. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Austin Hill won, but that was one of the craziest crashes we've seen in a while. Or I mean, that was crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Snyder, I mean, he just went flying through the air. Oh my gosh, but congrats to Austin Hill. I mean, he was out front a lot of that race. He was in the right place. I mean, he was getting out front. He was doing a great job leading. He did the crossover on Allmendinger. He pulled it off, and then man, Snyder got hooked by her. We got a replay. So Snyder's on the bumper of Alfredo. Let's see what happens. He just kind of gets hooked off the bumper of Alfredo. I really can't say anybody's at fault, but he basically goes into the wall and just flips over the front of the 48 and into the fence. Like the 48 drove underneath the 31. If we hadn't on board with the 48, that'd be insane. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I mean, he got hooked into the outside wall head on off the nose of the 23, and then just, I don't really even know. Like, he hits the wall so hard, and the 27 kind of got underneath him, and that thing just flipped over into the wall. That the rear axle just got, that car is destroyed. The rear axle just got ripped off. The front end just got destroyed. I mean, the engine's been ripped right off the front. I mean, literally all that's left is like the roll, like the roll cage, like the part where the driver is. I mean, the rear axle has completely been ripped off. The engine's been ripped off. I mean, the car is destroyed. Yeah, the engine's like got ripped out like right away. I wonder where that is. I mean, that was almost like Newman's wreck. I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, that like they're talking about it on the news. That reminded me of a Larson's crash, but just on the back straightaway, not on the back straight. That way that hit the fence. And Austin Hill, how about that? Gets his first career win. How about that? And that locks one of the Xfinity Series RCR cars into the playoffs. I think this is going to be a solid year for RCR in the Xfinity Series as well as the Cup Series. Yeah, Myatt dies. Myatt did not die. He actually got out of his car right away, which was a great sign. I mean, that's a great sign for like safety of these cars. But that was an insane crash. I mean, that I thought that I thought he just I thought it was. I mean, I didn't think he died, but I was like, that was crazy. Like that was crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my, like that was wow. I mean, that was here. I'm gonna look at the running order though. At the finish, so you have Austin Hill, Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, and Sheldon Creed. Your top five. Justin Allgaier, Anthony Alfredo fights back to get a P7. Ryan Sieg, Josh Bilicki, and Brandon Brown round out your top 10. Then you have Ty Gibbs, Ryan Truex, JJ Ailey, Landon Castle, and Jeffrey Earnhardt round out the top 15. Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Ryan Vargas, Jeb Burton, and Bailey Curry, your top 20. Then Kyle Sieg, Myatt Snyder with a P22 finish. Buford P23, Martins 24, Mills 25th. Man, I mean, that is wow. And there's the whole engine just sitting in the infield grass. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo this entire. I'm gonna have to rewire this audio thing, man. I don't know why it's so jacked up. Well, I appreciate everybody who tuned in, guys. I'm gonna cut it there. I won't be live tomorrow, but I'm gonna do something so that way I'm gonna do a reaction to the race, let you guys know my thoughts and all that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. That's all for now. I'm out.